Why does motivation fail, guys? Why does it fail? Everyone has a belief around motivation, and that motivation is so important. I need to be motivated in order to do the things that I wish to do on this planet. The thing is, if you're always relying on motivation, just like anything, it's not limitless, friend. There's a limit to motivation that you can have. And if you always do things on motivation, well, your body needs to be at a certain level in order to use motivation. So you're just going to be drained every time because you're thinking, oh, I need to do this, and I need to be motivated. Well, your body can only be so motivated. That's the reality, guys. Motivation is emotional at its heart. Motivation is emotion. And you cannot always have the emotions that you are seeking to have when you would like to have them. Motivations come and go, motivations are fleeting. So, within relying upon something that is based on an emotion, what you are doing is relying on an emotion. And that's like saying, okay, if I'm happy today, awesome. And so I would be saying to myself that to have a great day, I need to be happy. And if you were happy all the time, how would you know that you are? If happiness, in and of itself, what makes it great is that you know what it has felt like to not be happy. So, if you are always happy, your baseline level of happiness would pass. So, the emotion that you need there, right, to be motivated, in and of itself, isn't something that you can reliably use, guys. Motivation reacts, discipline is what decides, guys. Because your motivation is reactive. So to be motivated, it's based on something else. So let's put it like this. If your life is going amazing, you have a great family life, you have a great financial life, you have great health, how are you going to be motivated then? Because you need to be reacting to something. I don't hear about anyone's motivation based on the fact of, oh, because I'm so happy, yeah, I'm just motivated to do it. No, because that becomes alignment. You're doing it because you're happy and you're aligned with your current reality to do the work. Discipline ultimately is what decides, guys, because the motivation will come and go, but discipline is always here. If you wake up and you are able to take in a breath of fresh air, you are able to be disciplined. Discipline will get you the results. Motivation is amazing in certain periods, but it always runs out. And so if you're like a car, let's say you run on gas, same thing. And what happens when you run out of gas? The car stops. So if you're a human, why not rely upon something that you can always have? You can always have discipline, always. There will be times where you rest, right? But it's so much larger the amount of time that you have with discipline than you do with motivation. That's going to come and that's going to go. And see, the thing is also, motivation focuses on outcomes. So people are motivated because, oh, I'm going to have this number of success. I'm going to have this number in my bank account. I'm going to have this relationship. All of these things are going to happen. Awesome. Okay, what happens if you don't get the outcome? I'll tell you because I was there as well. I used to do the same. So you're motivated. Yeah, I'm going to get this outcome. Okay, and then the outcome never arises. So now you're there. You're in the work. You're doing the things you're motivated doing, all the work that you said you were going to do. Awesome. And then you don't get the outcome. And so now you're depressed because you built your whole frame of life based on an outcome. And if you don't have that outcome, I mean, naturally goes to your brain that, friend, I didn't get what I wanted or what I thought I was doing. All this work that I put in has been for nothing. And so then you start to naturally feel like, man, I feel like I've been lied to. That's what it is. It comes down to that. And so, due to that feeling, you're going to feel down. And now that state is going to be with you for some time. When that state wouldn't have been there, at least not to the same length, if you never would have used motivation as your fuel source. Just use the discipline. Because the discipline is not focused on outcomes. It's focused on your output, but not an outcome. Because outcomes can come, they can go, they fluctuate, friend. It's the same as if you base your status, everything about you, based on a monetary thing. Okay, what if you lose your money? Then what? Oh, so that's the key. And look, guys. So instead of focusing on motivation, I want you to focus on structure, on environmental design, and on your small non-negotiables. Okay, your goal, right? Your goal is to be in amazing and phenomenal shape. Awesome, man. I'm so grateful to hear that. And woman. By the way, when I say man, I speak to everyone, just so that it's clear. But, okay, if that's the case, right? So build it on the non-negotiable. Don't build it on the fact that, oh, I need to have a six-pack, I need to have an Instagram body. No. My non-negotiable is I go to the gym every day. So if you hit your non-negotiables, guys, your brain, your body picks up on the fact that you are keeping your promises. And there's no better way to grow in confidence than to keep the promises of the words that you say to yourself. There's no better way. You can do all the things that you wish that you see here, guys. I speak as someone that has practiced and done a lot of those things as well. There's nothing that will give you the same confidence as keeping your word to yourself, and that is built on non-negotiables. And so let's change the fuel. Let's change the fuel of motivation. Let's change it to structure. Okay. For example, let's say, friend, let's say your goal is to hit 1 million followers on a platform. Okay, we all have different ones, but that's yours. All right. So instead of being like, no, my family said that I'm trash and this, I can't do it. My old girlfriend, my old boyfriend said this to me. I'm not enough. And that's why I grind every day. No. Change it to something more stable that you can do every day, because consistency always wins the race. So instead of that, because ultimately motivation in and of itself, since it's an emotion, it's based on that, it's going to put you into an emotional chaos that you don't necessarily need. So what you're going to do is change that fuel to small structure. And this small structure includes, okay, every day I'm going to do this amount of work in order to get to this goal. Because with motivation, you can do one day, oh man, I don't do much work. And then the next day, maybe you do 8 hours of work, right? And I used to do this. And look, it has its place. But for real success, real long-term success, it's going to burn you out. Because the thing is, it's going to tax your body because it's an emotion. Literally, it will tax your body. And it will have physiological effects on you and just your life. So, okay, let's say your goal is to have 1 million followers. Okay. So every day, say, I'm going to work on this goal, depending on if you have school or not, or you have another job, between 2 to 4 hours. Let's say you don't have another job. This is your main thing. Perfect. So, okay, I'm going to do 4 hours a day towards this, regardless of how I feel, regardless of how motivated I am. And I actually consciously want you to go into it. I want you to not be motivated at all one day. Don't think about the motivation, nothing. Just go at the time that you have allotted to do this work. Do the work, regardless of how you feel. Because the thing is, the reason that you may not want to do the work is because that is the best thing for you to do. That's your goal. And as humans, we're adapted to let's say, negative responses because negative responses are what kept us alive. Oh, it's thundering over here and lightning over here. Okay, so I have a reaction now. Let me not go over there. Let me go to the other side. And it's the same thing because there's a risk in everything. Because let's say you had to go through that thunder to get over to your pack to get the food, right? You're going to have a negative response because maybe you could die. But you need to go through it in order to get to your goal. And so that's the same thing that occurs when you have work to do and you have a goal. Okay, let's say there's thunder, there's some thing preventing you in the middle. And that's why your brain's like it's subconsciously giving you ways, giving you a way out so that you don't have to do that. It's like, "Oh, this it's going to hurt." And so the thing is when you go through what you see on the other side are all your life's answers and everything. You're stronger because you're going through what was before a boundary and a difficulty for you to do. So you're literally getting stronger as you do this. And so that muscle, like everything is a muscle. So in the beginning, you're going to have a lot more thoughts of imposter syndrome and a lot of things saying, oh, you can't do this or it's not meant for me. But as you do it every day, the muscle gets stronger. And then let's say a thought of imposter syndrome or things like that of not wanting to do it comes up. It's just a natural muscle that your body just does it. Just how people train in the gym and lift weights for their biceps and things. It's the same thing. And so now you've cultivated the discipline muscle. So now even if you are not motivated, it does not matter. You will do the work. And ultimately, that is what will get you the goal. And so you end up getting to the goal a lot less taxed than you would have if you just relied on motivation. Because then since discipline is a muscle going, you don't have this emotional influx of emotions every day. Oh, I'm here. One day I'm here, there. Oh no, what is going on? No, you're just stable and you're solid as a rock. Okay. And so, for example, this goal, I want you to do this task at the same time every day and shrink this habit until it becomes super easy, man. Okay. So if I have my 4 hours, I personally, I like to do it in blocks. So I do 3 hours, no breaks, locked in on the work. And then I take a lunch break and then I come back and do my final hour. Because the other thing is, man, you have two things and both can work, right? You can get to your level of success and excellence in whatever the field is, whatever area of your life, because there's different, there's monetary, there's physical health, all types. The thing is, from what I've seen is, okay, you can do everything to be supremely wealthy, but then you find out that your life has completely suffered in every way. Your friendships, your family relationships, everything. And to an extent to be successful, your relationships will change, of course. They will because you're a different person to become that. And a different person is going to have different people around them. And if those family members aren't those people, well, they're going to see that, right? And it's going to have a reaction. But the thing is, do you want to be, let me ask you guys, would you like to be an 100 millionaire, but have a terrible life, like a bunch of divorces, kids with a bunch of different ladies? Let's say you have a woman and a partner, but the partner isn't really, let's say, following your lead. It's kind of like this back and forth. You guys are always fighting. Sure, you have all the cars. I mean, you have everything you want, and you don't feel the best about yourself either. Would you rather have that, or would you rather, for example, have $10 million and have an amazing family, have amazing connections, your quality of life just be supremely beautiful, and you wake up every day and you get to work because you love it, not because you necessarily need to? There's two options, man. And I'm optimizing for the second because before I thought it was the first, but at what case and at what cost, pardon? That's not a life that I want to live. Wealth is a tool, and all these things are tools, but ultimately, you want to have a high quality of life because that's going to give you the highest enjoyment on the planet. So, guys, be responsible. Know that motivation is forever fleeting, and that ultimately you have the power to get whatever you wish, whatever you decide, as long as you have the right systems in place. And in this case, structure and stability will get you to your goals, not motivation. Much love.